It's immediately noticeable when you game on a crappy monitor. Either the colors are all out of whack, or there's a noticeable input lag between what you press and what shows up on screen. To some people, size matters a lot, but if you want a 75-inch screen, you're looking at $1,500. 90-inch screen, $5,000. But what about a 120-inch screen for less than $800? The BenQ TH671ST Projector, the BenQ Projector, is made specifically with low input lag in mind, making it specifically targeted towards gaming. I'll disclose this like I do every time. This is not a sponsored video, but they did give me the projector for free. BenQ has offered me a monitor in the past, and I turned it down because, first of all, it's not gonna be better than my Acer Predator. And second of all, you guys aren't gonna care what monitor I'm playing my Switch on. But a 120-inch screen? I got you to care, didn't I? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is interest in gaming monitors. Let me know if you want to know about some gaming monitors. I never saw projectors as a practical solution. You have to rearrange your whole house. They take a while to warm up. The colors are gonna be all weird because of your wall color. You have to turn the lights off. It's not gonna be as fast as a monitor, so it's gonna have some input lag. Plus, and maybe my biggest reason, size just doesn't really matter that much to me. Okay, you got me, it matters a little bit. I think the Nintendo Switch is the perfect way to test this projector because it's 1080p 60 frames per second, and that's the most we're gonna get out of our Switch. There are 4K projectors for your PS4 Pros and Xbox One X's, but I can't guarantee the input lag is gonna be any good. The first thing I needed to do was find a big enough wall. There we go. The projector comes with a remote, power cable, and a VGA cable? What the hell? How are we doing with that? 2018. No HDMI to be found. Setup was way easier than I expected. I pointed the projector at the wall and turned it on. It takes a few seconds to warm up, but not as long as you remember your projector in your high school classroom taken. Maybe about 10 seconds, and then it's instantly at full brightness. There's a focus ring to get everything as sharp as possible. There's also a zoom ring, which we'll get to later. Since the projector sits below the center of the screen, there is a setting to adjust the distortion of what they call the trapezoid effect. However, the sides of the picture were perfectly straight right out of the box, so I didn't have to worry about that. This projector automatically detects lighting conditions to give you the best possible brightness, so maybe it also automatically detects viewing angle. Regardless, when I first booted it up, it asked if I wanted to adjust it. Once booted up, everything looked nice and bright with no problems. Initially, I had it set up at 135 inches diagonally, and everything looked just fine. Obviously, that's way too big for a 1080p picture, so you see some pixels from up close. But man, are they crisp. You might see some scan lines in my recording, but that's just from the camera. Those aren't there in real life. I attempted to shoot at a higher frame rate from a different camera too, but that didn't work. There seemed to have been some focus distortion at the top of the screen compared to the bottom. The picture was more in focus closer to where the projector was aiming and less in focus the farther away you were. And there's also a bit of chromatic aberration. You could see some red, blue, or green peeking out around some text there. Bringing the projector closer and making the image 115 inches diagonally slightly fixed this, but it was still there. None of this is noticeable from a few feet away though, where you're actually going to be sitting when you watch this projector. According to the spec sheet, to have the clearest image, you want the picture size to be between 60 and 120 inches, but it says it can go all the way up to 300 inches, my God. There's also the option to zoom, making the picture even bigger, but that's just ridiculous. I was impressed to see an option to set your wall color. The picture already looked great, but setting the wall color to light yellow added a little bit more blue to even out the colors in the picture. There's also the option to have a full or limited color range. It defaulted to limited. A lot of things do with the Nintendo Switch for some reason. It smooths out all of the blacks, but with full, you get the full dynamic range of the picture. It looks a lot better. Kind of like when you first start a game and there's two logos and a little slider and it lets you adjust the blackness level so you can barely see one of the logos. It's kind of like that. It would be easier to see that logo with a full range of colors. I was also surprised to learn that this thing had speakers, and they didn't sound half bad. The frame rate in Splatoon 2 is a nice fat 60 frames per second, and it shows. There was no noticeable input lag whatsoever, even though it's rated at 16.67 milliseconds, and for comparison's sake, the monitor that I have in my gaming setup now is rated at 2. If I saw that spec in a monitor, I would think it to be unplayable, but honestly, I didn't notice any problems. Everything was perfectly normal. I also tried it with Zelda. That game has a weird environmental haze sometimes that dulls the colors. So this isn't a very good test. Mario Odyssey looked fantastic, of course, and Owlboy has some real nice and crisp pixels. Wow. That is one beautiful game. Overall, everything on this projector looks super sharp. The biggest cons I can think of on this projector is that it does get very hot on one side, so make sure that side of the projector is clear of any knickknacks or hamster cages. And it isn't that loud, but it's still pretty dang loud. So if you're in the market for a nice projector, this one's fantastic. Am I gonna throw out my TV and start gaming exclusively on this BenQ projector? Absolutely not. I'm surprised with how well it worked. A lot of my previous issues with projectors were addressed very well here. There's just very specific use cases for people to want to use a projector in their gaming setup, and that's just not me. Maybe, for example, you want your whole neighborhood to see what you're playing. I never leave my desk over there, so all my gaming is done right there. Also, like I said before, size doesn't matter that much to me, shut up, and there's just something about the comfort of knowing that the input lag on an actual monitor is much better, especially when you're playing a game online. If you want a projector and you have the wall real estate, get this BenQ projector. If size matters a lot to you, get this BenQ projector. If you're on the fence about wanting a projector, probably don't get one. If you didn't want a projector before and you still don't want one now, I don't blame you. So what do you guys think about this BenQ projector? What do you think about projectors in general for gaming on your Switch? And what do you want to see in a gaming monitor? Does a full range of colors matter to you the most? Does size matter to you the most? Does the amount of inputs matter to you? Do you game on a monitor or do you game on a TV? Leave it in the comments below, add me on Twitter, all of this other social media garbage. We have new videos all the time. Here's our schedule right here, but this weekend is the last episode of the backlog. It's the end of the season, so we gotta get out there and film more episodes, which we haven't done, so that's gonna go away for a while. Also, this is the last week we'll be premiering all of our videos over on twitch.tv/wolfden, but don't fret, I will still be streaming, I think twice a week on Twitch. Stay tuned for more info on that, but if you are a sponsor here on YouTube or a sub over on Twitch, you can be part of our supporters only Discord chat, and there I have been posting videos before they go live on YouTube. It's usually only a few hours because we do these things pretty far down to the wire, but that's a way to see these videos early. It's kind of in lieu of a Patreon. I'd rather you guys get your perks through something like YouTube or Twitch than a Patreon, but I'm not ruling out Patreon, I'm just saying. We live stream here on YouTube every Sunday at 8 p.m. and every Wednesday at 9 p.m. That's Wolfden Live, our live podcast. Follow us everywhere. Put those post notifications on so you know when we're somewhere. And of course, the most important things that you can do is subscribe right here on YouTube and share this video with a friend who wants a new gaming monitor, projector, or maybe someone who has a projector, wants a new one. I feel like you gotta be like a projector guy to want it. Anyway, thank you guys very much. Have yourselves a very good week.